Welcome to this online class about Vue.js. My name is Andreas and I welcome you. Together we will get a little bit into Vue.js. Therefore, at first we have a look at Node.js. What is it and how to install it? Then the Vue UI and the dev server. What are those two phrases and what is NPM? Then we will create our first project and get a little bit into the Vue lifecycle. If you are using Windows, it's totally fine. If you're on Mac OS also, and I will just use Ubuntu for this tutorial here. So just open your terminal. This is the black box window and hit the command node-v or npm-v to just check whether you have node or npm installed on your system. I do not, so that's why I use apt package manager to install those two packages, and there you just press Y to install all those dependencies. I will just skip the process because this would take a while. But what is Node.js? Node.js is some kind of an environment, so you are able to run JavaScript outside the browser. It is also possible to build something like a server or to have access to your file system. And after the installation is finished, you check node-v or npm-v, and the version may differ, but it should the output should be something like this here. Then what's next? If you're on Windows, you just got over to nodejs.org, and those big green buttons, you just hit download. And as I said, the version can be different on your system. That doesn't matter. And as I said, it's an environment, virtual environment, where you can run JavaScript outside your browser. You have file system access, and that's the reason why we are using it. Yes, because Vue.js has something for us which is called the Vue CLI. It's a command line interface, and the Node package manager, which is npm, obviously, this is installing a global package, and the global -g, the global package will be available everywhere in our terminal, everywhere in every folder, and we need the Vue command line interface because we want to create a project. And of course, I will just skip the installation process because this will take a while as well. When it's finished, then blah blah. When it's finished, then we will just have a quick check if everything works, but you see it at Vue CLI version 4 is everything fine. If you need to update your npm, then you see it here. New major version is available. That's interesting, but not for me right now. Let's create the projects folder and go into it. And we have installed the CLI. So let's hit Vue create hello-world. Of course, hello world, what else? And then what do we want to build now? We want to see the Vue 3 preview. There is a thing. Vue.js 2 is there's a different approach how to do projects, but let's start with Vue.js 2 because many legacy projects in companies still run using Vue.js 2. You can use I think 90 or 95% of Vue.js 2 code in Vue.js 3. There are differences like the composition API, but you are not forced to use it. I skipped the installation process because when it's ready, then it says, you just go into the folder, and then, as you can see, you need to perform npm run serve. And of course, if you use git and so on. So we will go into the folder, hello world. Then we use the Node package manager, and he should run a script, and the script you see behind serve is the Vue CLI service. It was there, and the CLI service is able to run a web server. Here you can see localhost, and the web server is if I click on it, here you can see Mozilla Firefox. This is the Vue dev server. So what is the point here? Let's open it in Visual Studio Code and let's see what is the project structure and what did we do here? You can use PHP Storm as well, but I just stick to Visual Studio Code because it's totally free and I think it's really, really, really nice IDE. So what we have here, the package JSON file, and there you see it is divided into multiple parts. On the top you see the scripts section from line 5 to line 9, and here you can see the serve script. Of course, we run the serve script. This is the server, the dev server, yeah, with hot reloading. So if you change something on the source code, it will just change as well. Of course, we will need core JavaScript and Vue.js, as we see, Vue.js version 2, because we said so. The dev dependencies are for you as a developer. Bubble, for example, makes your source code available for so-called browsers like the Internet Explorer and old browsers. The linter is something, yeah, we will get to this later. The CLI service, you already seen this. Bubble ESLint means, or ESLint means there are rules, how should you develop and what is your coding style. And you define it here, as you see, those rules and extensions and that stuff. Rules could be only use double quotes when there's a string or, yeah, other rules. Yeah, what else is there? Here's the public folder. This is a backbone, a boilerplate of a, yes, okay. This is a boilerplate which will be compiled by Webpack. So this is what your website will look like. Here is the div ID app, which will be important in the next videos. And what else is there? The fav icon. Yeah, we can skip that. In the source folder, you see main.js, and if we open it, we can see, there's a mount, and we mount it in ID app. So this should have something to do with those index.html div ID app. But for now, it's okay. We are importing our app. So to import the app, we use import app from app.vue, and this is in the source folder. And here you can see the app.vue. This already has content. So at the top you see template, then script, and then style. Script is, this is your component, and we will get into this. This is how your component should look like, the HTML, and this on the bottom, this is your styling. It's just CSS. You have other components as well. Here the Hello World component, where you can see what we have seen here in Firefox. So this is the content we have on the left side. This is our content, and this message here, this is our variable. So what is a variable? We will get into this. At first, we will import the Hello World component here in our application. And when we import something, we have to register it, as we can see in line 30 to 15. And when we have registered it, we have to use it, as we can see in line 4. And this is what we see as a source code. Nothing about all those HTML. We only have the app.js and we have the div ID app. Nothing else is in the source code. Why is this? Because we have the lifecycle and the Vue Js Lifecycle. This has something to do with the virtual DOM, the real DOM, and what is the DOM? We will get into this step by step. So, at first you see the Vue Js Lifecycle, the Vue Js 2 Lifecycle. Everything starts by instantiate a new Vue instance. This is done by using new Vue, and as you've seen in your app.js, we did that. Then something has been created. And when it's created, it will be mounted. What is create and mount? Let's see, a hard drive has to be created by a manufacturer. And when it's created, you have to clip it into your computer and you have to mount it. So this is your component has to be created and then mounted. When it's there, then it will be updated and in the end, it will be destroyed. And what is a component? It is created in the virtual DOM and will be mounted in the real one. And here you can see how it looks in the Vue Js 3 lifecycle. On the very first top, we will create an app. Of course, this is related to the instantiation. Then you see before create, of course. Then on the very bottom, you see before mount and before update. So nothing really changed. That's the thing I told you before, right? You just can migrate from 2 to 3 easily. But now it is called unmount. In Vue Js 2, we had destroyed and before destroy, and here it is called unmounted and before unmount. I think this is something like, when we call it mount, then we just call it unmount, But it is working the same way. But now, let's go back to the source code. As we can see, there's nothing we have on the left side. This is the source code delivered by the server. And when the server delivers the source code, our browser is rendering the whole stuff in a DOM. And what the DOM is, we will get into this later on. But it is not the thing we have here as a source code. It is interpreted by your browser. And what does interpreted mean, and how does the lifecycle interact with your Vue.js code? We will get into this in the next video. If you have enjoyed this video and you're ready for the next one, hit subscribe and the thumb up button, and we'll see us in the second video of this Vue.js online class. My name is Andreas. See ya.